Hello, what's up? So basically, I wanna do the kind of drawing the thing that I teach myself, and I make subjects and concepts work harder on my brain. Kind of. I don't know if it's spelled like that, but yeah, whatever. Who cares? And basically, what I'm going to do is try to reinforce the concepts of drawing the figure that I am learning through Vilpus drawing manual book. And yeah, hopefully this is gonna be fun and I'm going to be able to get something out of this. So yeah, basically the first step that Vilpus teaches is the gesture. Uh, basically the the rhythm, the concepts of the rhythm. And by the way, if you are there and you're like, oh, I'm gonna learn something, I would suggest you to go to Vilpus videos or Vilpus book. I mean, his videos are free on YouTube. So you just go to his video on Proco's channel and you can enjoy his stuff there. It's a way better than learning here if you have any intent of learning with this video. So, okay, I was saying basically there's this idea of rhythm that Vilpos teaches, that is, it's basically picking one line to the other line to the other line to the other line, getting into a continuous flow of movement. And this is really important when drawing the figure, um, because let's say I used to do a lot figures like, I don't know, like this, and then I would draw like oval here, and then drop down the legs, drop down the leg, and then whatever, arm. But while this kinda worked, sometimes it was not always that it worked, and when it didn't work, it feel very frustrating because I didn't feel like I had a lot of tools to work with. And this was a completely different feeling when I actually started watching Vilpo stuff, because he gave me a tool set that, even though it was like really hard to use, I felt like it had everything I needed in it. So it was super cool. So yeah, basically this idea of rhythm. And please bear with me because I usually draw traditionally, and yeah, I suck at digital drawing. I really suck at it. Even though I have this tablet for 10 months, I still suck at it because I barely draw with it. But yeah, whatever. Let me do something for imagination real quick just to keep the point going on. Let's draw a little head like here. Just kind of looking up, blah blah. And then we pick up from the idea of rhythm. And then what we do when we wanna go further into this is start to show in which direction it's going. Let's say you have your rhythm lines going whatever, and then, oh, this is going like this, and this is going more like this, like you're drawing ellipses. Jesus Christ, this is horrible. To describe where the form is going, but it's just like half ellipses ish, just to communicate, not to someone else but to yourself, what you're trying to do. Shit, an insect just kicked me here. Mm, crap. Okay. So yeah, you add your direction lines, and then it's easier to know where this or that is going. But yeah, blah blah blah. Let me erase this real quick. Let me pick up my pencil again. Was it that? No. Okay. Oh yeah. Going further into this, you have your direction line. Oh, the struggle. Jesus Christ. And it's going something like this. Let's say. And then you could go over the surface, meaning that if you have this and you have this, you could go over the surface doing it like this, but I don't think it would apply right now since it's just about the gesture. So yeah, okay. Do you see how this is going like this for the neck and the head, and then this is going like this, and then here on the hip, what I want to do is like this. So we keep going with the gesture, and something that I found that is like really hard is to connect well the legs because let's say here you have a clear indication of continuing like this, and then you can just go like this for the foot. But uh, in cases like this, okay, let me fix this proportion real quick. Okay, but in cases like this, I feel like it's really hard to keep the motion going, especially when the model is doing something like this. It feels weird, like when the model is not actually pointing the leg or whatever member of the body is pointing to the direction that the flow is going. So you kind of have to break the flow a little bit. But in this case, I will not. I will just do something like this. Okay. Mm, I don't like how this is feeling. Yeah, I'm not trying to make anything perfect anyway, so it doesn't matter. Mm, and yeah, I don't know the hotkeys on this program. I'm sorry. And yeah, I have no concerns of learning it. I really don't care. And basically, when you come to the arms, it's actually another struggle that I have. But first, you have to remember that you have to do your circling lines, basically everywhere on the body, just to show the direction because you're gonna use them later. So yeah, this leg is going like this, and then the other leg is more like this. You know, it's like having a clear direction in your mind. You're kind of doing the I don't know, the cylinders thing, where you know where it's going to go. You know that it's actually a form and it exists in the space. Jesus Christ, this head's bothering me so much, but fuck it, let's ignore it. So yeah, I like to use Vilpo actually doesn't say this, but I like to use the landmark points on the body to keep the proportions and just to help myself. But I don't think I'm gonna talk about this. But if you know them, just use them. Yeah, just use them because they make stuff easier. So yeah, in the arms, actually, I found some trouble with when Vilpo was trying to teach this because it's really hard. It's really hard because it's not like he says don't use anatomy, but he wants you to see more than anatomy. He wants you to see the motion. So when you come to something like the arm, where let's say you have your torso right here, I mean your rib cage, and then you have like your collarbone. The collarbone is what is gonna indicate basically what the arm is doing most of the time. And you cannot just draw collarbones here. They're gonna look bad. They're gonna look super bad because this is supposed to be the gesture. So I try to feel it. It doesn't work every time, but you kinda start getting it when you do like a lot from the model. I don't think that by any means I have reached like where I want to be, but I try to feel it. I try to feel it, and I usually do this over and over until I feel satisfied, or I'm like, I don't care, let's just keep going. Because sometimes we have to do that. I mean, if you're drawing whatever, drawing like in square, and then your line's just going like this, uh, sometimes you gotta keep going if it's going like this, because otherwise you're gonna be stuck. Uh, it's hard to explain, but what I'm trying to say is, don't get stuck in simple things. Learn the overall, and you can fix the simple things later. If you bother with a small rock that is in your way, there's no way that you're gonna get through the bigger rock. I hope this made sense. Okay. Uh, so yeah, here you have the collarbone. Let's say, let's do something like this, and then the arm is going like this, kind of trying to keep the same thing going. It's kind of an ass that gets repeated all the time. Oh, it's the ass. Have to draw asses in the body. Not all the time, but yeah, sometimes you do. You have this right here. Oh my god, this head is bothering me so much. No, I like you. You have this going kind of there backwards. And yeah, sometimes even if you have like your forms going like on top, like let's say you have like the arm, and the arm is doing like this, and the other arm is going like this. It's still draw through what you're doing. It's really important to draw through. Imagine, use your brain as much as you can, because as it said quite a lot actually, you draw with your brain, you don't draw with your hands. If you're not making effort to imagine stuff while you're drawing, you're not gonna learn. And this is something that I am struggling with right now, and I am trying to fix it. In the thing that you're just making scribbles, and then you're like, oh, this looks like something. Let's put some fundamentals of construction on top of it, and let's keep adding to it. Maybe it will look like something. Let's just scribble. And you're like, oh, this looks like something, and then you're like, oh, I know what this is. No, you shouldn't. I mean, you can do whatever, but you're not going to improve as much. You have to be sure of what you're doing. You have to imagine. Don't keep doing bullshit like this. Go over and try to draw the whole form, and you're like, okay, this represents this, and this represents this, and this represents this. So then you go over them and you describe what they are, but you're imagining what they are. You're not just doing scribbles. Hope that makes sense. So yeah, where was I? Draw through, imagine, brain. This freaking head, man. What the hell? Whatever. Okay. So yeah, basically this is kind of the thing that Vilpo says, and it's just a little demo for imagination. And you see, let me pick up, I don't know, let me lower the opacity on the layer, just so I can kind of try to make a point. New vector layer, new raster layer. Oh god, what did I do? Okay. Oof, I am so bad. I apologize. Or not. Okay, so this is my point. You have this, and then you have this, and then you have this that picks up from here, and then you have this. I'm sorry. That picks up from here. This just keeps going, and this just keeps going, and then you have this from here, and then this that is just kind of going from back there. That really doesn't matter. So you see, it's just a constant flowing line kind of thing. you have to keep the lines flowing. I think that was an horrible explanation, but yay, I understand it. I think that must be something, right? Whatever. Okay. Uh, so let me pick up my black and let me try to do something from a photo right now. Moment of the truth. Can he do it? Oh no, my desktop. You're gonna see my porn. Jesus Christ, this is so unprofessional. If I was a YouTuber. Oh jeez. Okay. So here we have our pretty lady. She's pretty okay, I would say. Wouldn't mind that. Mm, okay. Is it working properly? Shit. Mm, pretty chaotic, but whatever. Cynic says chaotic is the best. So let's go with that. Just kidding, he doesn't say that. Just made that up. So yeah, here we go. Gesture. What I would do here is basically try to fill this. And yeah, of course, the number one rule, kind of cliche thing: exaggerate, exaggerate as much as you can. And you have your lines going down like that. Then you kind of go over the surface, and then you go over the surface again, and then try to go for the gesture of the leg. Boom, keeping it flowing. Boom, right there. Try to get the motion in the arm, even if it looks like the collarbone. Just start to see the motion. If the anatomy is on top of the motion, yeah, you cannot do anything about it. But just try to find the motion. That's the most important thing. Okay. So here, and yep, that's basically it for a gesture. And then you can go back and go over the surface, showing which direction this or that's going. All that stuff that I talked about. I feel crippled using this freaking tablet.